Hi guys, this is Kevin Carroll, and today I'm going to talk to you about using Microsoft Teams. Some of you may be familiar with Microsoft Teams. This is how we've been meeting as a faculty recently and how we've been holding our meetings. Today I'm going to show you how we can utilize this with our students and how we can create classes. So the very first thing to know would be how to get there. So once you log into your school email account, if you hit the waffle, it will be listed as Teams. And when you click that, it should take you to a page that looks a lot like this. Now, once you are in Microsoft Teams, you will see the groups that you have already created and joined. Thus, we see the high school faculty group. If your PLC uses this, you can also see your PLC, plus any other classes you have created. So the very first thing we want to talk about is how to create a class. So to create a class or a team, you'll click Join or Create a Team. Now, you can either create from scratch, or if you have a code to join, you can use this as well. This will come in handy with our students. We can actually share out a code for them to join rather than having to worry about them trying to put everybody in as we do it. So we'll click Create a Team. As you can see, there are several options for teams that you can use, and we're going to do class since we'll be using this for our students. Once you are here, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name ours Test, just for now. You can give a description if you wish. You can edit settings. There are many things you can do and mess with that's a little deeper than I care to go with today. But if you have questions, by all means, reach out to me anytime you have any questions. And you can also use an existing team as a template if you have any. We hit next. Once you do that, it's creating your team and you can add students. If you know of a student you would need to add, if you can type in their name. So if I just type in Carol, you'll see people who pop up with the last name Carol, and we can add them to our class if we wish. You can also, if you have a list or a group of students you have as an email account that you've created in your email, you can upload them here as well. Another option will be to give out a code later if you wish to. We can also add teachers, so if you co-teach with another teacher or want to give access to another teacher to the group, you can do that as well. For now, we'll skip this. Once you are here, now you are in your team. Once you have seen, the first place it takes you is to posts. Posts is where you can actually provide questions or announcements or something to the class to see. So you can just type in the below conversation. You can just type, you can edit, you can upload files. So if there's a file that you'd like to directly upload here, you can do that. You can post a GIF if you'd like to post GIFs. We can always do that as well. Anything you wish to do. There's notes, all kinds of fun little things to have discussions with students here. Once you post it, it will live on the post itself and the students can reply. This is a great way to have conversation with our students. They can see all of these features and be able to have a good back and forth even if they are not in our classroom. On this page, you can also see the Meet. This is how we meet as a group. If you click on Meet, it will push through to allow you to meet with everyone as you go through. And you can see my face, which is rough and terrible, and we're not going to do that anymore. And you can cancel that out if you need to. This would be how you meet out with everyone to work with everyone and see how things are going and be able to have those virtual meetings with our students. On top of that, there are other tabs on the very top that we'll discuss. Files is another one. Files is where you can actually upload documents. Just like we would upload anything to our websites, or just like we would upload anything to our web pages, OneDrive, anything that you use, any format online that you upload with, you can upload through Teams, which is also very helpful. Gives the students one place to go where they don't have to keep going around in 1,000 different places. One of the biggest benefits of Teams is the ability to create assignments. Assignments is where you can put in different quizzes or you can create a homework for your students and distribute it all in one place. So to get started, we'll just hit there and you'll hit create. Now you can create an assignment or you can create a quiz or you can copy from an existing. We'll do an assignment first to show you both ways and we'll discuss. So once you click a new assignment, you can insert a title. You can give instructions. If you have a resource or something you've typed up separately or put in a Word document, you can post that here. You can reward points as well. So say yours is worth 10 points, you can do that. Here, where it says assign to, is where you will pick the group that you have. So if you have multiple classes, you can pick those. You can also assign it to just the one. You can assign it to multiple classes. So if you have multiple classes that are going to get the same assignment, you can give all of them at the same time if you wanted to. Or you can leave it to just the one, however you wish. You can also select students. So if there's a limited amount of students that you want to give it to, you don't want to give to all of them, you can do that as well. Where it says due dates, you can actually assign and change the due date. You can also, if you hit edit, schedule to assign it in the future. So you could have an assignment that will not post until Wednesday of the next week. And so I could go and say schedule to assign this in the future, and I could push this to go on next Wednesday. You can change the due date to next Friday. And this was, you've had it all preset. It will automatically post on those days. So the students will get a notification saying that there is a new assignment available, and it will do everything for you. The close date is when the assignment will not be allowed to be turned in any further. So if you, and normally the close date is the same time as the due date. If for some reason you wish to push it later, you could. So I could say it's due on Friday. There'll be a late turn in on the 10th. And that way you give the students a little more time if you need it to post that in there. Um, Once you post this assignment, it will post onto the page for them to see. So you can see where it'll post assignment notification there, and you can hit schedule. I'm going to go in and change. Do this. That way we can see it, and I'm going to assign it. Once it is assigned, it will fall underneath the assigned category, and you can see it here. What you will see is a 2 grade and a graded, where you can actually, 2 grade will show you all of the assignments that the students who have been assigned the task to work on. Graded is for the students who you've graded and turned in. And of course, you can see on the bottom where we have a notification. This is where it's also posted under the posts. So the kids will automatically see that there's a new post there as well. This will auto-populate when you set it to drop on a day. On top of creating an assignment, you can also create a quiz. So when you create a quiz, you hit quiz, and this will go to Microsoft Forms. For those of you who are not familiar with Microsoft Forms, this is the survey tool that Microsoft has created. You can actually create multiple choice quizzes. There's lots of features involved in forms. So you can see I have several forms that I have created in the past. You can pick one that you have done before, or you can create a new one, however you wish to go. I'm going to pick one that I've done previously. And once you do that, it will auto insert the form here for you. So you don't have to worry about trying to find it. It pulls up how many questions. And again, you can do the same changes you could before in terms of assign and changing the dates. If you wish to change this, you can also change the schedule. So you can schedule it to drop on a certain day and its due and its close date. All of those things can be edited for you as well. I'm going to go ahead and let this go, and we'll assign this as well. So now we have 2 assignments showing up. And these will once again populate just like we had showed. Now, once a student completes an assignment and they work through it, and you've graded it, you can actually see these in grades. These will export to Excel, so you can file everything in an Excel sheet, and it will appear to show you all the points and everything that they have available. To give you an example, this is what grades would look like if you had more students and more assignments. And you can see students who viewed the assignment. You can see if they've turned it in. You can see if it's been returned to them. That means they need to make edits to it. And this will live through the life of the assignments as we see them. Other things that can be done in Forms, you can add additional pages up here on the very top. It's a tab. You click tab and you can insert different apps and different files. One big one, Kahoot, actually has its own page in here, which would be very nice. It's a direct feed into the website, so students could use that if they need to. You have forms. A lot of the different websites that we use and different features we use, there's all kinds of options down here you can see, and you feel free to play around. Flipgrid is on here as well, so lots of different ones. You can also add just permanent tabs, however you wish. You can also add a channel. So where it says general, this is actually a channel. And if you wish to add a channel, another one you could. And this could be week 1 tasks. And this will create what is a secondary page. You can then upload different things. So if you wanted to organize your class through different channels, that would not be a bad way. You can see where during our social distancing time, I actually created a practice ACT page where I could post all the practice ACT stuff separate of the normal work that we did. To me, the biggest perk of Teams, beyond the ability to have everything in one place and structure meetings with our students, is the class notebook. The class notebook is a great place for you to distribute your notes for all the students to have access to. This is run through OneNote, which those of you who are unfamiliar with OneNote is a really good note-taking app through Microsoft that we have. Class Notebook will allow you as a teacher to construct what material goes to the students and a direct pull, and they all have their own individual notebooks. Has a lot of interesting and lots of good ways to get those pieces for those students to see. It is a bit of a process to set up, but it is well worth it if you have that established in your classroom. Finally, to show you, we talked about earlier different ways to get students to join the group. So you can get a link as well if you choose that way. Or if you go to Manage Team and go to the settings, you can get a code. And so you can generate a code, and this code will then allow you can pull this, and you can allow the students to enter in using the code that you see here. So either way, it would be a really good way to get the students to join to your group so they can see that. Once again, there are lots of features. You can change the themes, all of those things. This was mostly just an introduction to Microsoft Teams. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me via email, or you can talk to Miss Malari. I know that I, and well as she, will be more than willing to help you with any questions that you may have. Thank you and have a great day.